Welcome back to Guitar Theory Modules. This is Module 6 and we're on pages 21 and 22. In Module 5 we talked about key signatures and the row of sharps and the row of flats. In this module we're going to talk about how major scales tie into key signatures, and you'll learn the easiest way to identify major key signatures. In this module, you're going to learn how to identify major key signatures on sight. Now, if you're playing the notes of a C major scale, then you are in the key of C major. And if you're playing, say, the notes of an E flat major scale, then you're playing in the key of E flat major. I'm going to show you some easy tricks for identifying major key signatures at a glance. We're going to start with the sharp keys. To name a sharp key, all you have to do is take the last sharp in the row, the sharp on the right, and raise it by a half step, and that is the name of your major key. Let's go over some of those at the bottom of the page there. D major. So we have two sharps in the key signature, F sharp and C sharp. The last sharp in that row is C sharp, so we take a C sharp, raise it by one fret or a half step. That's a D, and that's how we know we are in D major using this little trick. A major. We have an F sharp, C sharp, and a G sharp. The last sharp in the row is a G sharp. You would take that G sharp, raise it a half step or one fret to find yourself on an A, and that's how you can identify the key of A major. And B major. It's got five sharps, but the last sharp in the row is what we need to look at right now. That's going to be an A sharp. Raise it A sharp a half step or one fret. That lands us on a B, and so that's how you can tell from looking at that key signature that you're in B major. To identify a flat key, all you have to do is look at the second to last flat on the right, and that's the name of your major key. You don't even have to go up or down a half step. That flat is the name of your key. And we'll go over some examples here. B flat major has two flats, has a B flat and an E flat. Second to last flat in the row, which is also the first flat in this case, is B flat. So that's how we can identify that key signature as being in B flat major. Next we have an E flat major with a B flat, E flat, and an A flat. Second to last flat in the row is an E flat. You don't have to raise or lower that note. That's just the name of your note of your key. We are an E flat major. D flat major has a lot of flats in it, but all you have to do is look at the second to last flat, which is a D flat, and that's how you could identify that key. The one exception to the rule for these flat keys is the key of F major. It only has one flat, so there's no second to last flat. You just kind of have to remember that the F major has one flat in it, and it's a B flat. And the key of C major has no key signature, so no sharps, no flats, all naturals. We're going to take a look at the major key exercise number 1 at the top of page 22. We've got 12 key signatures, and your job is to name each key using those tricks we just talked about for identifying sharp and flat keys. If you have my book, Guitar Theory Modules, just go ahead and write your answers right there in the book. Otherwise, just do this on a piece of paper. And you can also check your work in the back of my book on page 211. So I'm going to go over the answers right now, so pause the video, fill in your answers, and then start it up again and check your work. Number 1, there are 3 flats in the key signature, B flat, E flat, and A flat. Second to last flat is the name of your key signature. You don't have to raise or lower it. So the key is E flat major. Number 2, 3 sharps in the key signature, F sharp, C sharp, and G sharp. We're most concerned with the G sharp right now. You take that last sharp in the row, the G sharp, raise it one fret or one half step. You're on an A, so that is the key of A major. Number 3, we have 5 sharps in the key signature. The last sharp is an A sharp. You take that A sharp, raise it a half step. You're on a B. Number 3 is the key of B major. Number 4, we have an F sharp, and only an F sharp, so we raise that one F sharp a fret or a half step. We're on a G. That puts us in the key of G major. Number 5, we have 2 flats in the key signature. For flats, we take the second to last flat. That's going to be a B flat, and B flat is the name of the key. You don't have to raise or lower that note. Number 6 is also in a flat key. We have 4 flats. Second to last flat in the row is an A flat, and that's the name of your key, the key of A flat major. Number 7, also a flat key. Second to last flat is a D flat. That's your key, D flat major. Number 8, 1 flat in the key signature. This is the key signature that breaks the rule for flats, and that'll be the key of F. You just have to remember that F has the 1 flat, the B flat. Number 9, 2 sharps in the key signature. We take that last sharp in the row, the C sharp, raise it 1 fret or 1/2 step, and that puts us in the key of D major. Number 10, another sharp key. Last sharp in the row is a D sharp. Take that D sharp, raise it 1/2 step or 1 fret. That puts us on an E, so number 10 is in the key of E major. Number 11, lots of flats in this one, but we only have to look at the second to last flat to name the key. The second to last flat is a G flat, so we are in the key of G flat major. And then number 12, all the flats you could possibly have, but the second to last flat is a C flat, so number 12 is in the key of C flat major. Now let's check out major key exercise 2 at the bottom of page 22. This time you're going to identify the major key based on the number of sharps or flats you're given. So first, write the name of the sharps or flats in order from left to right. And when I say in order, I mean in order of the row of sharps or the row of flats. And then name the major key using the tricks we talked about earlier in the video. You need to know your row of sharps and flats for this exercise, so if you're still a little fuzzy on that, spend a little bit more time in Module 5. If you have my book Guitar Theory modules, just write your answer in the book. If not, just grab a piece of paper and write it on a piece of paper. Also, if you have my book, you can check the answers on page 211. And we're going to go over the answers right now, so make sure you pause the video, write in your answers, and then start it up again and check your work. 3 flats. If it's 3 flats, it's going to be the first 3 flats in the row of flats, so that'll be B flat, E flat, and A flat. And to find flat keys, you take the second to last flat in the row. That'll be an E flat, so if it's 3 flats, it'll be in the key of E flat major. Next, we have no sharps or flats. That's the key of C major. And then we have 2 sharps. The first 2 sharps in the row of sharps are F sharp and C sharp. And then to find your key for sharp keys, you take the last sharp in the row, C sharp, raise it a 1/2 step or 1 fret, and you're on a D, so that puts us in the key of D major. Then we have 1 flat. If it's 1 flat, it can only be B flat, the first flat in the row. And that's going to be F major. That's the 1 flat key that breaks the rule for figuring out the flat keys, because there is no second to last flat, because there's 1. Next we have 5 sharps. It's going to be the first 5 sharps in the row, F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, D sharp, and A sharp. And to figure out the name of that major key, you take that last sharp in the row, the A sharp, raise it by 1 fret or 1/2 step, puts you on a B, so that would be B major has 5 sharps. Then we have 1 sharp. That'll only be an F sharp, the first sharp in the row. You take that 1 sharp, the F sharp, raise it a 1/2 step. You're on a G. That puts us in the key of G major for 1 sharp. And then 2 flats. It's always going to be the first 2 flats in the row, B flat and E flat. And then our second to last flat in the row is the name of the key. You don't need to raise or lower it. So if it's got 2 flats, you're going to be in the key of B flat major. To put all this information to use in the real world, make sure to get in the habit of identifying key signatures in the music you play. With enough practice, you'll be able to recognize key signatures at a glance. Make sure you're still practicing writing out major scales the way you learned to do in Module 4. That's going to be really important in a couple modules. And if you need some manuscript paper for that, don't forget I've got some free manuscript paper you can download from my website. I'll put a link for that in the description. And also continue memorizing those major scale forms you learned in Module 3 on page 16 so you can apply this to your guitar playing. And don't forget to order my guitar theory modules. You can go through all these videos without my book and learn just fine, but if you do have my book, Guitar Theory Modules, you'll have all this information in one place and it's going to be a little easier to follow along. So I'll put a link for that in the description. Take your time with this module, and when you're ready, I will see you in Module 7, where you're going to start learning about intervals.